Hi guys, Casper MMA here, and today we are back with another PFL prediction video on the channel. Today, give my predictions for PFL Europe 3, Ayoub versus Lopez. Now, I've been waiting a while for another PFL event. There's not been one for like over a month, I don't think now, since like the World Tournament, but we're back with a Europe one, and I do like this card. But before I do get into today's predictions, make sure you guys are new around here and you're enjoying this content, you go down below and hit that subscribe button. It's free and it's really appreciated. So this card is in France, and we have 10 fights, which will kick things off with the first prelim of Maria Guedez Jr. versus Kia O'Sullivan. Now, it's a women's fight. Both of these women's fights are 0-0, both making their professional debuts here. Guedez Jr. has nothing on a topology page whatsoever, so I can't tell you any of her fights or anything about them, but she's currently 0-0. Her opponent, she's also a Venezuelan woman. You don't see many fighters from Venezuela really. Her opponent, O'Sullivan, is an Irish fighter, 9-2 amateur record. She looks decently fair, got a few finished wins coming into this fight, and you know, she looks alright, she looks decent. So I'm going to back the Irish woman to get this job done, and I reckon, God knows, it's a women's fight, could end anyway, but I'm going to back her, and I'm going to reckon O'Sullivan gets the KO. Now, we move up the card to Sebastian DeFranco versus Mark Ewan. Now, DeFranco is a Belgian man, 10-4 record, 31 years of age, currently on a 2-fight losing streak. Got KO'd in his first PFL fight by Connor Hughes in PFL Europe 1. Connor Hughes actually fighting ahead on this card as well. But then he lost a decision before that, so he's on a 2-fight losing streak coming into this one. He does have a few wins by finish himself, most of his wins coming by decision. His opponent, Mark Ewan, is a Scottish man, 6-2 in total now. Also coming off a loss, he lost by KO in his last fight in May this year, and also in PFL Europe 1. So both these guys coming off bad losses in the last fight. He also lost to Pacella by decision, but he had a win in between that by submission in round number 1, and before that he was undefeated. So both these guys haven't done too well recently. Both got 2 losses in the last couple of years, but I'm going to back Ewan to get this job done. I think I've backed Ewan in most of his fights on these prediction videos, and he's not really done well for me, but I'm going to back him to beat DeFranco here. I just feel like he should be the better fighter. DeFranco coming off 2 losses as well, so I reckon Ewan can get the submission here. Now, we move up the card to Vincent Del Guerra versus Sofiane Aïssaoui. Now, Del Guerra is a Frenchman, 32, 22 and 1 record, 35 years old. So this guy is very experienced. He's had over 50 professional fights, so he's a very experienced man. I mean, he's been fighting for like forever, really. He's fought everybody. He just go through quite a few periods of like winning a couple, then he went on like a bad losing run. But to be fair, he's only lost once in the last 2 years, I think. Around that, he's had a few wins. He's got a last win this year in Ares FC. Got a win by submission, and you know, he's got that experience. He's got quite a lot of wins by finish. He's got 11 wins by KO, 16 wins by submission, and only 5 by decision. So he's a dangerous fighter. He is good. Has been finished quite a few times. He's got 22 losses as well on his record, but he's got a lot of wins as well. His opponent, Aïssaoui, don't know how you say his name, but he's an Algerian man, 11-6 record, fighting out of France. I think there's a lot of like Algerian French people and that. He's coming off a win in his last fight by a round 3 retirement this year. Before that, he got submitted, but he has quite a few wins by submission himself, 6 wins in total. But he's also been submitted a couple times as well in his career. So honestly, this he is the slightly younger fighter, but only by a year. So this fight could go either way, really. Both these guys don't look too bad. Both coming off a win as well in the last fight. But I'm going to back Del Guerra to win this fight. I just feel like, you know, I feel like he's got way more experience than his opponent, and I just feel like he's going to use it in this fight. So I'm going to back Del Guerra to win by submission. Now we move up the card to Dara Kelly versus Bakhtiar Abdulaev. Now, Dara Kelly is an 8-0 undefeated Irishman, currently 27 years of age. I mean, he's looked good. I mean, he hasn't lost yet in his career, so that's a positive. Currently has 4 wins by submission, 2 by KO, and 2 by decision. So he does look a pretty good fighter. Got a win by submission in his last fight this year in one of the PFL World Tournament 6. Around that, he's beat good opponents, beat undefeated Hirtsenko, and a 7-1 opponent before that. So I do think he is quite a good fighter. Kelly, his opponent, Abdulaev, is a German man, 10-1 in total, 37 years old. So he's pretty old, to be fair. I didn't expect that. He has only got one loss on his record. That came in 2021, lost by KO to an undefeated guy. But since then, he fought twice in 2022, won both of them, one by submission, one by decision. And then he hasn't fought since. So he hasn't fought in like over 3 years, I think. So I mean, he's not been very active. Did go on a really good run to start his career. Went like 8-0 with some good wins in there as well. But he hasn't fought in a while. He's getting old now. I just feel like Dara Kelly is going to be the better fighter here. I mean, honestly, both these guys have got good records, but I'm going to back Kelly, be more active recently. I think he's going to come in here and win by decision. Now, we move up the card to Claudio Pacella versus Aleksandr Chizov. Now, Claudio Pacella is an Italian man, 6-2 record, currently on a 3-fight winning streak as well. All wins coming by decision in different PFL Europe events. His last loss was decision loss to Patrick Habirora. I don't know how you say that, but I'm pretty Habirora has went up massively since that. That was his only his second fight in the UFC. Beat Pacella. Now he's 7-0. Just knocked out Danny Roberts in his last fight. So he's not a bad loss to have really on your record. Looking back around that, he's got all of his wins were finishes before his last 3 fights. So he's got 3 KO wins and 3 decision wins. So he does do think he's a decent fighter. His opponent, what's his face? Aleksandr Chizov is a Latvian man, 11-3 record, 27 years old. He's a dangerous man, to be fair. I mean, he's got 7 wins in total by KO, 3 wins by submission. He knocked out Mark Ewan in his last fight, who we just talked about. Got the round 1 KO there. Did lose twice in a row before that, and then he was on a really good winning streak. Nearly all of his wins coming by finish in a row. And I mean, he's a dangerous man. So I think this fight could swing either way. I reckon Chizov is going to win. It's going to come by knockout, I've got a feeling. But I reckon Pacella can evade that threat, and I'm going to back Pacella to win by decision. Now we move up the card to Dean Garnett versus Jan Ciepłowski, or Ciepłowski. I don't know how you say it. Probably wants Polish pronunciation. But Jan Ciepłowski is a Polish man, 9-0 record, undefeated. He looks good. I mean, he won his first fight in the PFL this year by KO over Julien Lopez, who's also just got added to this card recently because of a pullout. But the rest of his fights, I mean, he's good, man. He's got 4 wins by decision and 2 wins by KO and 2 wins by submission. I do like him. Got some decent wins as well on his record and like other promotions and stuff like that. His opponent, Dean Garnett, is 13-3-1 Englishman, 37 years old. So getting on a bit now, but he's still a good fighter. I mean, his only loss in the last many years has been to Lewis McGrill and Evans, who we've seen that was an insane fight, and he's a really good fighter as well. But if you haven't watched that fight, go watch it. There's like 20 fucking knockdowns. There's so many. But he did get KO'd eventually in round number 3 in that fight. But he knocked him down like loads as well. But he came back with a decision win over Gronval in his last fight, which he should have won, to be fair. But yeah, he is a good fighter. I do think Garnett is good, but I just don't think he's going to be able to beat Ciepłowski in this fight. It should be a fun fight, to be fair, but I'm going to back Ciepłowski to get the win by KO. Now we move up the card again to Connor Hughes versus Gino van Steenis. Now, Connor Hughes, Englishman, 11-2 record, 28 years old, coming off a win, which we've already talked about on this card, against Sebastian DiFranco. Got the KO in round number 2 there. Did get KO'd himself in round number 4 of his fight before that to undefeated Polish man Kasuba. But before that, he was on a pretty good run, 3 fights in a row, only lost once before that in the PFL. Before the PFL, he was on a great run with loads of wins by finish. I mean, I think he's a good fighter. Majority of his wins either come by KO or submission. Only had 3 fights go the distance in his career. Gino van Steenis, on the other hand, is a 6-1 Spanish man. He's fighting out of the Netherlands. He's Spanish, Netherlands, I don't know which one he is. But he also does look pretty good, to be fair. Only 1 loss coming by decision. Loss in KSW a couple of years ago. But since then, bounced back, 2 wins by decision in a row. Won in the PFL Europe, 1 by decision over an opponent. But he does have a few finishes on his record already. I'm pretty sure he must be the brother of Costello van Steenis, is that his name? The one who's just beat Johnny Eblen to win the belt. I'm guessing it must be his brother or cousin, some relation. But I don't think he's going to be the level Conor Hughes is. I feel like Hughes is a really good fighter, and I feel like Hughes is going to get the job done here, and I reckon Hughes wins by decision. And now we move up the card to Baris Adiguzel versus Julien Lopez. Now, this fight was rescheduled. It was meant to be Gustavo Oliveira versus Adiguzel, which would have been a fun fight to be fair. I was actually struggling to pick a winner in that fight before this, but it's been rescheduled. Oliveira pulled out, but we have Adiguzel, the Frenchman, 8-1 record. Looks good. I mean, he's only had one loss. That was in Cage Warriors back in 2023. Got KO'd in that fight in round number 3. But around that, he's looked very good himself. A lot of round 1 finishes. I mean, all the fights he's won by finish have all come in round number 1. On a 3-fight winning streak, all by round 1 KOs as well. So I do like him. He looks good. Beat some decent opponents as well. In different promotions, got 1 win in Cage Warriors while he was there and 1 loss. But he does look a good fighter. His opponent, Julien Lopez, 7-5-1. Frenchman, currently on a 2-fight losing streak in PFL. Got submitted by Aleksandr in round number 1. Then he lost his last fight to Ciepłowski by KO in round number 1. Did win his first fight in PFL though by submission. But I do think this should be a pretty easy fight for Adiguzel, especially short notice for Lopez. Not doing too well recently, not the best fighter in the world. So I'm going to back Adiguzel pretty confidently to knock out Lopez. And now we move up to the co-main event. Boris Mbarga Atangana versus Jhony Gregory. Now, Atangana is a 6-0 Belgian man. He's good. He looks good. I mean, his first win in the PFL, in PFL Europe 2, he got the KO in round 1 over Bruno Santos. All of his wins have come by finish in his career. 5 wins by KO, got 1 submission by rear naked choke in 2024. But around that, he just looks good. All round 1 KOs, apart from that one fight that went to submission. Got that in round number 3. I mean, he just looks a very good fighter from Belgium. His opponent, Jhony Gregory, is a Brazilian man, 9-4 record, 31 years old. Currently is on a 2-fight winning streak, to be fair. On a 3-fight winning streak, just one of them was illegible MMA on topology, something like that. But he did get KO'd in round number 1 before that. Has won his last 2 fights by guillotine, so he's a threat by submission. Does have 3 wins by submission in his career. Has 5 wins by KO, but has been KO'd 3 times in the past. So I'm going to back the undefeated man, obviously, in Atangana to win this one. I do think he should be the better fighter here, and I reckon Atangana wins by KO. Now we move up to the main event, Amin Ayoub versus Keweny Lopez. Now, this fight has also been rescheduled because it was meant to be Ayoub versus someone else, Desme or something like that, as I was originally predicting, but it's been rescheduled. Lopez has stepped in on short notice, but Ayoub is a Frenchman, 25-5 record, 29 years old, so quite experienced to be fair, got 30 professional fights under his belt. All of his losses has come by decision. He's never been finished in his career. On a 5-fight winning streak at the minute as well. 3 of them fights getting wins by KO. Fought some pretty experienced opponents as well, with a lot of wins on the thing. He's not even on a 5-fight winning streak. I just looked at his, seen one of the losses was a grappling match to a UFC fighter, but he's actually on a many fight win streak. Hasn't lost since 2021, where he lost a decision for the Brave FC. Brave CF even title, but he's definitely a good fighter. He's only had a couple losses, and they've all come quite early on in his career. His opponent, Keweny Lopez, Brazilian man, 12-3-1. He's been around a bit. I mean, I remember one of my first prediction videos I made on this channel was when he fought Wellington Prado for the LFA main event. That was back in 2024. Since then, he's been to Cage Warriors, lost twice, fought for the belt against Harry Hardwick, got KO'd in that fight, and then lost a decision, but came out, went to a different promotion, won by KO in round number 1, and now he's found himself in the PFL. Now, I do think he's not a bad fighter. There's a reason I picked him to beat Prado in that fight. Then he, obviously, it was too big of a step up to fight Harry Hardwick and stuff, but I also think this is too big a step up for him to fight on short notice. I mean, we're full camp. He probably might be a good test for you, but I'm going to back Ayoub to win this fight, and I reckon he wins by decision. So there are my picks for PFL Europe 3. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree with any of my picks. And that's going to be all for today's video. If you guys enjoyed, remember leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.